Good morning, friends, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Tiffany. Happy Monday. So it is Monday, and it is our first day back to homeschool this morning. So it's currently about 8:20, and I'm about to head out to a doctor's appointment. I just need to get blood work done. Excuse me. Just blood work for checking my A1C and my other just levels of stuff, just standard blood work. My voice is cracking. What was going on this morning? So I'm gonna go do that and then swing through and grab donuts from a place near our house that we don't go to often, but they are really yummy, and then come get the kids up and ready for their first day of school. So we're gonna do first day of school pictures and then get started on our day. So I hope to bring you along on some of that. Might be a little chaotic as we get back into the swing of things, but I'm both excited and sad to be starting school again. It's just bittersweet to see summer coming to an end, in the sense that like our days are now going to be structured again, but also craving that structure at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but bittersweet for sure. But I'm gonna get ready to head out at the door for my appointment, and I will be back in touch with you probably when I get home. Hey friends, it is just about 10 o'clock. I am home from my blood work and running my few errands. Not errands, but getting donuts, and then I also stopped at Starbucks. However, I hope that I've had a few mishaps this morning, and I hope it is not indicative of how my day is going to go, because if so, I just want a redo. So I told you I was going to get donuts, and it's a local place, but the lady that works there has a very strong accent, and I misunderstood her at the speaker and accidentally ordered all cream-filled donuts. Like, I wanted to just do a mixed dozen donuts, and usually it's like your standard like donuts with holes, and it's about $11 for their mixed dozen. And it always has like really yummy ones like blueberry and lemon, and there's usually sugar, cinnamon sugar and powder. Anyway, it's usually does us just fine. Well, I thought what she was asking is if we wanted cream filled in that mixed dozen, and I was like, yeah, sure. No, I ordered 12 cream filled donuts of different varieties. There, I don't have the receipt with me, but oh, I sent it to Will. So it came with 2 chocolate Long John with cream, 2 Bavarian custard glazed Bismarck, 2 raspberry glazed Bismarck, 2 strawberry cream cheese croissants, 2 white cream glazed Bismarcks, and 2 glazed donuts for $21.80. My battery's dying. Hold on. Battery is changed. So back to that. I paid twice the amount that I had planned on paying for donuts. Hopefully the kids will like them. I don't know if they're gonna like the cream filled or not. They look delicious. I mean, Will likes cream filled, so I mean, they'll get eaten, especially for the amount that we paid for them. But they look good. I had one of these strawberry cream cheese croissants because it sounded good, and it was kind of one of the smaller donuts. So we'll see. But that was my donut mishap, and that's not the only mishap I had today. I also ordered Starbucks coffee off the app because I have a gift card on there, and the app glitched and it made it look like my order didn't go through. So then I ordered it again and it crashed again. So then I went into my order history and it showed that I had ordered twice, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just get both coffees and save one for tomorrow. Get to the Starbucks window, she's like, only 1 order came through for you. And I was like, but it took it off my gift card both times. Like, I paid for 2. She's like, you're gonna have to get a hold of chat or call the 1-800 number. I was like, of course I am, because happy Monday. So I got home and got on with chat real quick through the Starbucks app, and it was fairly quick, and they refunded me for the second drink. So that wasn't too bad. But I ordered, I know it looks kind of pinkish. It's because it has raspberry syrup in it. I ordered a venti iced Americano ristretto blonde espresso with 3 raspberry syrup and 3 white mocha and cream, and it's delicious. So I'm kind of splurging on calories and sweetness today with the 1 donut and my drink, but I wanted to have a good fun day for the back to school. So I'm hoping, like I said, that this is not indicative of how the rest of the day will go, because if so, we're gonna start over. It's beautiful outside. I enjoyed driving to and from my places with the windows down. It's starting to get hotter though. Like I said, it's almost 10 o'clock, so the morning heat is starting to creep in. It's supposed to be another hot week. I'm ready for fall, especially now that we're starting back to school. Like, it feels like it should be fall because back to school. Later this afternoon, Alice wants to go to Walmart and see if they are carrying the NYX brand of makeup with the collaboration with the new Wednesday season that just came out, like the Addams Family Wednesday. She loves that show. She went to a watch party last week at her friend's house, at my friend's house. She's also friends with the kids. So our friend's house. And they binge watched all of the first 4 episodes that they released. And then the second 4 episodes come out, I think September 3rd, sometime that week. So Will and I are making our way through. We watched episode 3 last night. We'll probably watch episode 4 tonight or tomorrow and be caught up with that. But NYX, the brand NYX, released, I saw it on Facebook, they released a makeup line that is in collaboration with Wednesday. So Alice wants to see if Walmart carries it. So we're gonna probably run to Walmart after school. That'll give her incentive to get through the school day because she wants to go shopping. So that's on the agenda at some point. I'm gonna wake the kids up here momentarily and get their first day of school pictures done. See if they'll eat some of these donuts, I hope, because they weren't cheap. The donuts are really, really good. Like, they're not like cheap tasting donuts by any means. They're worth the $21 that you pay for them. But I just didn't plan on spending that much on donuts this morning. I planned on spending $11. So, kind of blew the budget on that one. But it was my mistake. I misunderstood her at the speaker and then didn't correct her once I realized what was going on because I felt silly. So, that's my fault for ordering wrong. But I'm going to go wake the kids up. They're going to not like that because I told them I'd let them sleep till 11, but it's 10 o'clock and... well, I might watch a little bit of YouTube and sip on my coffee for a few minutes and then wake them up. Hopefully they had a good night's sleep. I was in bed last night at 9:30. Will and I went to bed early. I don't know what time they went to bed. I told them to be in bed by midnight because they were waking up for school today. So we'll see if that happened or not. They're night owls. They're tween and teenagers. They thrive in the midnight hours. I was the same way. So it doesn't usually bother me that they stay up later than us, but now that we're back to school and they need to be up and paying attention for school lessons, I would like them in bed at a decent hour, and midnight seems pretty feasible to me. I know that's, some of you are like, that is super late, but we don't start school until usually 11, so they get plenty of sleep. Got the kids up. We were watching World Watch to start our day. Alice is getting a donut. Jack's getting comfy just to wake up a little bit. We take it pretty easy in the morning.
1 billion people listened to the 3V from Genesis as Apollo 8 became the first crew to orbit the moon. All 3 lived into their 90s, and now all 3 are gone.
Next, we are doing a Bible study from the company Not Consumed, and it's all about fear and how to cast your fears aside. So we just finished lesson 1. I forgot to vlog it while we were doing it, but lesson 1 was just what is fear, and it talked about that. It gave us some Bible stories, story of Gideon in Judges, and then we talked about some different criteria on whether these sound like you or not, just different like anxiety and fearful comments like, I have a really hard time with change, new people or new places. I sometimes have trouble falling asleep because of all the thoughts racing through my head. So that was our lesson on fear. And then we just started History's Mysteries from Campfire Curriculum. So we're on lesson 1, which is about the lost colony of Roanoke. So we'll actually be discussing this in lesson 1 and lesson 2. So this will take us through almost our first whole week just discussing Roanoke. So we started, we already read a few pages of that. Like I said, I forgot to pick up the camera and kind of keep you updated. But Campfire Curriculum is a family unit study, so we do it together. I broadcast it to the TV. Where's the TV? Oh, yeah, TV. And they take turns reading aloud, and I read some. We all take turns reading aloud, essentially. And then tomorrow we will do what's called the Core Connections, which brings in science, language, arts, history, art, different subjects into the mix, so it counts as a full curriculum other than math. So we do math separately. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're going to finish this lesson and then I'll bring you along. Next, I think we're doing our family read aloud. Now we are listening to 2 chapters of Restart by Gordon Corman. This is our current family read aloud. It is about a bully who gets into an accident and loses his memory and doesn't remember who he is and whether or not he can change into a nice person. So it's like a middle grades level reading. I've heard it's really good. I've heard Gordon Corman is a great author. So that's what we're going to be listening to over the next 5 weeks or so. Alice is currently working on typing.com. I have them do 10 minutes a few times a week just to get their proficiency up. Jackson is leaning over on the chair doing his handwriting. We use I think this is level 6 handwriting book from The Good and the Beautiful, and they just do 1 page a few times a week. So when Alice is done with typing, Jackson will do that. Alice will do her handwriting, so they'll just swap. And then they each have math to do, and I think that's it. So for Alice's math, at least for the first quarter, not quarter, but first trimester, I guess, because we do 9-week trimesters, essentially. This should last between 8 and 10 weeks. Let's just put it that way. She's doing the Before Personal Finance Discover Your Future book. It's from the makers of Beyond Personal Finance, which is a budgeting book for teenagers. So this one, I really like it so far. It goes over, like today we did lesson 1. It's got 10 different lessons, and you can break it up into 5 days a week if you wanted to, where one day you do the lesson, then there's the scene, the teaching, the activity, the budget, and then the quiz. I find that this did not take us, we actually made it all the way through to the quiz in about 20 minutes. So we read the lesson, we did the little, let's see, I'll just show you. So Teacher's Corner, lesson 1 just kind of talks about what money is and how to do the lesson. Future You just talks about you're going to pretend that you're 13 and budgeting money for your life. Lesson 1, the actual lesson itself, is like the introduction to money. So what is money? Money through the years, money around the world. How is money made? How can we use money? Ways to spend money, goods versus services, and what makes this cost that. And then she took a little activity, a spender versus saver quiz. Surprise, surprise, she is a spender. She's kind of like her mama. Jackson is like his daddy, and he's a saver. So she took the quiz, and then she did some matching with, she just had to match like which one of these matched up with the amounts. So just kind of calculating money. And then the activity here was to budget. She started out with $300 from family for the year. She did a plot twist, which is a QR code that you scan and it gives you a spinner wheel. And hers was that she earned $150 shoveling driveways in the neighborhood. And then the only thing she wanted to spend money on off of this page was snacks. So she spent $100 on snacks for the year. And then she had to calculate how much money she had left. So she had $350 left at the end of that. So this was like just a very basic, like, oh, little tiny budget. Then tomorrow, we didn't need to use the calculation page. She didn't want to do the word search, which is fine. We talked about Alexander Hamilton and how he helped to create the first bank of the United States and laid the groundwork for the financial system. And then tomorrow she will do the lesson 1 quiz as well as the reflection page, which just has some questions about, do you ever receive money from family? If so, what do you usually do with it? What was your plot twist? Did you buy anything from the shop? Did you give anything away? How much money does Future You have at the end? So it's just kind of a summary page. So she'll do that tomorrow. And then that's all of lesson 1. So we didn't split it up into 5 days because that would have been silly for me. I feel like maybe as the lessons get more, we might have to split it up into multiple days, like across the week, more than 2 days essentially. But we'll just kind of play it by ear. We're just going to work through it, do about 20 minutes a day, and see how far we get with each lesson. So I don't think it's going to take the full 10 weeks for this course, but it's a nice little introduction to personal finance. Jackson uses teaching textbooks, and he's like, I've forgotten everything I know.
Kind of. I went through and actually read through the hints.
Yeah.
And then,
Did that help with some of them?
Yeah, and then on 2 of them, I kind of just remembered that I have to multiply a couple of things and then divide it by a number.
So you did.
It's written
Okay.
out really weird.
So I gave him the calculator. I said, he knows how to do math longhand. I said, if you want the calculator, go for it. He's doing PreAlgebra right now. So he needs some help with a few problems. So I'm going to go help him with that.
I'm like 5 lessons away from PreAlgebra.
Oh, until it actually starts.
Yeah,
So right now
actually
he's still just doing
working on
review.
it, yeah.
What lesson number are you on?
44.
So he's on teaching textbooks, PreAlgebra. He is technically 8th grade. He started it towards the end of 7th grade though. So he got 43 lessons into it plus a few quizzes. So he's starting at lesson 44 for his 8th grade year. So still just doing a little bit of review, and then it'll get into the actual PreAlgebra portion of things. So I did buy a new calculator and let him use that. It's just a TI, it's not like the super expensive one. It's the TI 30XS, where it does have the multi-line, and you can do like fractions and stuff on it, which is nice. So I figured this would be his next step. How do you clear it? It says clear.
It's on the top right. It's cleared.
Oh, it is cleared. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna help him with, bless you. You good?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna help him, and then I'm gonna take first day of school pictures of both of the kids. We just did back to school photos, and so Alice wanted to show you her outfit. And wearing her Doc Martens that she got for her birthday, and her new tights that we got from Temu, because don't yell at me. Shh. So we made it to Walmart. They did not have the Wednesday NYX makeup in stock. But we did find a Here Lies Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice shirt. So I got that for her. And then with her own money, she bought some Halloween witch PJ pants. Very cute. Witch season, it says on the waistband. Ah, ooh, spooky. So I am going to use some of my garden tomatoes to make up a batch of just quick like restaurant style salsa. The only thing is I don't have cilantro. Hopefully that won't change the, I know it'll change the flavor. I'm hoping it'll still be good is what I'm getting at. So I'm gonna do some tomatoes, red onion, jalapeno, a little bit of garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper, and maybe some, nope, Italian seasoning goes in pasta sauce. Ignore that part. I also made pasta sauce recently with tomatoes, but I'm gonna whip up a batch of that and get it in the refrigerator. Also ignore the part where I said olive oil, because that's also a pasta sauce thing. I'm confusing my 2 recipes. And I also forgot lime juice goes in there. And I forgot, and then I remembered. I have cilantro lime seasoning, so I might put some of that in there to give it the cilantro taste. I am just starting a new book series called, well, I don't know what the series is called, but the first book is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's supposed to be like thriller, mystery, let me see, I'll read the description real quick. So, romance, mystery, suspense, young adult. Excuse me. Cold cases are about to get hot. Don't miss this exhilarating crime thriller. Okay, ignore that part. 17-year-old Cassie is a natural at reading people, piecing together the tiniest details. She can tell you who you are and what you want, but it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously until the FBI comes knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. There's more to it, but that's kind of the basic premise. So I'm going to start that and open up one of these sparkling waters, the bubblers. I got this at Walmart. This is the Twisted Elixir, which is raspberry, lime, and citrus. And then get dinner started tonight, which is skillet gnocchi meal. I've got 2 packs of the Rana's skillet gnocchi, and then I have some jalapeno cheddar sausage that I'm going to cut up with that, and then I also put in some onion and pepper blend, but it's just a frozen mix. So I'll do probably about half a bag of the seasoning blend from Walmart and some fresh tomato from the garden, and that will be dinner tonight. Alice likes hers without the sausage, so she just likes the gnocchi and tomatoes and a mixture. And then Will has his with sausage. Jackson does too, but I don't think he's hungry yet. So I made Will and Alice's for them, and then I'll check on Jack. He's got to take garbage out to the road, but he's in the middle of something right now. So I think when he's done with that, he'll probably be ready for dinner as well. So I guess the series is called The Naturals, and the first book is The Naturals. I think there's like 7 books in the series. This is on Goodreads. Book 4, 5, no, I lied. There's 4 books in the series. So they're all relatively short and then a novella, maybe 4.5. I've heard good things, so I'm excited to go through the series. So I started The Naturals when I started making dinner earlier, and I just finished the book. It is about 7.5 hours long, but I listened at 2.4, so it was just over 3 hours for me. I gave it a 4-star rating, and I'm excited to continue the series. So now I am debating on starting Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. The only reason I'm contemplating this one next is because it's due in 4 days, and that's my next one that's like due next, if that makes sense. It is a 10-hour book. On Goodreads, it has a 3.79 average rating. So I am debating on reading that one. So I wanted to tell you what it's about. So it says, would you rewrite your destiny if it meant losing a part of your past? On a back street in Tokyo lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Most will see only a cozy ramen restaurant, and just the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hannah wakes on her first morning as the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quite unlike other customers, for he offers help instead of seeking it. Together they must journey through a mystical world to find Hannah's father and the stolen choice through rain puddles, hitching rides on paper cranes, across the bridge between midnight and morning, and through a night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, Hannah must reveal a secret of her own and risk making a choice she will never be able to get back. So it's kind of like a cozy, magical realism, fantasy fiction book. It came out in January of this year. I follow a few booktubers, well, one in particular, who read it and enjoyed it. That's why I added it to my list to begin with. And like I said, it's got quite a few 4- and 5-star ratings, just scrolling through the reviews. So I think I'm going to start that and see how I like it. And if I'm not enjoying it, quite the light difference when I close my laptop, holy moly. If I'm not enjoying it, then I will DNF it and start something new. But I think I'm going to close the vlog out. I'm watching some YouTube. I'm actually watching one of my favorite booktubers right now. Her channel is Sid Bookworm, Bookworrom. Kind of like bookworm, but I think it's her last name, maybe. Could be wrong. But I'm watching her most recent video, which is a week in the life, and I love it. And she's actually the one who read Water Moon, and it's the reason that it's on my list. So I'm gonna watch that, get this video edited and uploaded for you, and call it a night. So tomorrow we're right back into another school day. Luckily this week is pretty low key. We just have school all week. I had that doctor's appointment this morning. Oh, I forgot to update. My A1C came back at a 5.8. So it started at 6.7, then 6.2, and then 5.8 now. So it went from 6.7 to 5.8 since November. So that means that the Manjaro is working and things are looking good. So that's great. She said, keep it up. My cholesterol and everything looks really good. All of my liver and kidney function panels look good, and we will follow up again in 3 months. So I was excited to hear about that. But the rest of the week is very low-key, no plans other than school. So it's a nice easing back into the transition of a hectic schedule. Whereas next week, fake light again. Next week we have stuff all week. Tuesday we go back to American Heritage Girls and Trail Life. So that'll be our Tuesday nights again for the semester. That is faith-based scouting programs for kids. We've been a part of American Heritage Girls since Alice was 6 years old. She's now 12, so we love that program, and Jackson has been a part of the Trail Life Troop since it started 3 years ago. So we're back to that on Tuesday. Wednesday I have a doctor's appointment at 11:45, so we're going to start school a little bit later that day. Thursday, Will has a dentist appointment, so that doesn't affect us. And then Friday, I have a coffee date with some friends at 1:30, so we'll have to start school a little bit earlier so we can finish by the time I need to leave. So just a few things sprinkled in next week that will kind of throw things into more of a chaotic schedule. But thanks for coming along on another day. Drop a comment, share some love, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye.